gone there, 50-50, me and bam. Bro, all I remember was just me on the floor looking up at this guy, and then he stood up over it, and he's got the ball. But straight away, I just said to myself, if that's the case, then you guys will release me now. Because at that point, I thought I've come off, I'm 18, just about to be 19.
High market value. Yeah, bro. Like, as you're saying, Kenny Dalglish,
so Kenny Dalglish, so he started out as the reserve manager for Liverpool. And then so he gave me my reserve debut when I was like 16, 15. And then when I was in the youth teams, whenever we'd play youth team games, when he became the first team manager, he'd always come and watch our youth team games as well. And then there was a game where we played against Shrewsbury. It was like I think it was a friendly, or it was a cup game or something like that. And we battered them like 7-0 or something. But then I scored, I think it was the second goal from a corner. I told my friend, I'm going to run front post, I'm going to pull off the edge of the box, like clip it to me, I'm going to volley it. So he's meant to clip it to my left foot, and then it's done well. He's got it to me, but it's coming to my right foot. But the technique was there, where I've stationed myself and I just slapped it bottom corner. Basically, same thing I want to do with my left foot.
You did it on the right.
I done it on my right foot, so because my left foot had been opened and it had gone direct, but I done the same thing on my right foot. But I was just so gassed because what was in my head, I managed to do it, you know what I mean? I remember like jumping up, I was proper gassed. And then at half time, Kenny Dalglish pulled me aside whilst the manager was giving us a team talk. Kenny's like, come here a second. And then he was there, like him, the director of football, Damien Comolli and Frank McParlin. And then he was asking me in front of them three, and he was like, why was you so excited when you scored your goal? I was like, because I scored, you know, because I've seen you score goals, but he was extra excited. And I said, because obviously it was my weaker foot, I'd told him what I wanted to do. But he's obviously crossed it onto my right foot instead of my left, but I still did what I wanted to do. And then he turned around to me, Kenny Dalglish said to me, exactly, that's why I thought you celebrate it like that. But you shouldn't be so surprised, you know what I mean? You need to believe in yourself more. Left foot, right foot.
You can do that more.
You've done it, you can do that more. So he goes, great goal, son, keep doing what you're doing, but always believe in yourself. And when he said that, I was just like, yes.
Super Kenny, you know.
I was gassed,
King Kenny, man.
Yeah, so he was amazing with me. So obviously in the end, Kenny Dalglish ended up keeping my pro contract. The plan was there to go to Antwerp, New York Cosmos, and then obviously come back and do my thing in the reserves and hopefully earn a second contract and go into the first team. That was like the plan. Season starts, 2 weeks in, Kenny Dalglish gets sacked. Brendan Rodgers comes in.
I remember that season.
And then he just starts doing a madness in the whole club. He's coming in, sacking this guy, sacking that guy. People that have been in a club like 20, 30 years, and he's coming and sacking them. And then you can't do that at a club like Liverpool because it's heritage.
Foundations, man.
You know what I mean? Foundations. That's why Man United have found themselves in the problems that they've got now, because
foundations being uprooted.
You know what I mean? What Ferguson built has been destroyed. You know what I mean? If you kept
hear that, Adam? You hear that, yeah? Yeah.
So you can't you know what I mean? It's like a tree. You know what I mean? You can't mash up the foundations and expect the tree to still stand up strong. It'll fall. You know what I mean? So he tried to do that, and it kind of backfired. But anyway, he's come in. He spoke to a couple of first team guys. Andy Carroll told him he's not in his plans. Coming to the youth team, told me I'm not in his plans. Spoke to Michael Ngu. Like, you know what I mean? So he basically spoke to a lot of people, and then for me, they basically turned around to me and said, actually no, before he spoke to me, Frank McParlin had said to me, Brendan is basically chopping a lot of people down, whatever not. The Antwerp move is off the table, the New York move is off the table as well. And basically what's going to happen is I'm trying to find a loan for you somewhere in the UK. So I thought, you know what, even better. You know what I mean? I'll get to play Football League. Yeah. And next week's like, yeah, boom. 2 days, you're going to Northampton. You're going to go there for 6 months. You're going to play under Adi Freud. This time I'm thinking, he's a legend. Manager, you know what I mean? Legend. So I'm thinking, I can't.
Adi.
So that's happened. I've been set up to Northampton for 6 months. Looking back on it now, they really only needed me for 3 months, but signed a 6 month loan. Gone there. I remember tweeting. I was on the way there. I remember tweeting signing for Northampton. My Twitter was going crazy. And then funny story. So I remember people just tweeting me saying, "Oh my God, you're gonna get to play with the Beast." And So I'm thinking, who's the Beast? You know what I mean? Who's the Beast?
He's down there them time. Yeah.
And then next minute, someone said to me, sent me a picture of him. I was just this big hench guy. His arms are like this big. I'm thinking, there's got a guy called Adebayo Akinfenwa. So I'm thinking, okay, do a bit of Google. I'm thinking, okay, I look forward to this because people are like, he's mad strong and this, that, the other. So in my head, I'm thinking, I like pride myself in being
I've got
strong. You know
ability,
what I mean?
said,
So
mate.
I'm thinking I'm gonna put myself up against this guy. I want to see him.
He
So,
was wedged though.
of
Akinfenwa
course,
still is wedged.
he's strong. So we've got the first day signed, done all the press stuff, whatever not, and then the next day I've gone training. So I'm seeing like if someone's come to me, oh, he's saying you're good, and he's telling me, oh, I'm a Liverpool fan. This, that, the other. So from day one we've clicked. You know what I mean? Like, I'm thinking, yeah, this guy's hench. I'm taller than him, but he's just strong. Yeah. And the next minute we're on the pitch now, and we're doing like a rondo, and then we're passing it, we're doing this, we're doing that, and then we're doing like a possession game, and there was a ball, it rolled, so like it was about to go out, and it's 50-50 me and him. So I'm a bit quicker than he is, so I could have got there first, but I thought, you know, let me see how strong this guy. Let me see how strong this guy really is.
So
you
you
know,
went
so I slowed down a bit.
You went for it.
So I've gone there, 50-50 me, and I've gone in, bam. Bro, all I remember was just me on the floor looking up at this guy, and then he stood up all of it, and he's got the ball, and he's quite skillful. So he's done like a little Cruyff turn and winked at me, and I carried on running, and he's carried on running. So I'm thinking, this guy. After that, I was like, you know, I'm not doing no.
You even go back there.
Yeah. So straight after that, I never. After that, I was like, I never tested him after that still. So, but he was proper. Like he was amazing with me still. Like he kind of took me under his wing. And he was one of them, like, he's a proper hard worker. Like, before training, every single day, this guy will come in, he'll do 20 minutes on the bike, he'll do, what's it called, a cross trainer, he'll do 15 minutes on there. Every single day, bro.
Akinfenwa?
Yeah, every day.
Fitness,
crazy, bro.
Good, bro.
He knows, like, he has to keep himself in top shape. Mad hard worker.
Good, bro.
And then some days, he'd even do, like, gym, but a lot of times they do it after training. They do just simple shoulder press, bicep curls, triceps, press ups,
after
dips.
training.
You know what I mean? He's a wedge guy and he was doing dips.
Can you imagine my man in the gym on some? You see my wife and kids.
Yeah.
My man on some Euro
training.
That's true.
Yeah.
Or if you get in the gym with my man,
That's one.
That's the
set.
one.
That was him. So there was one time he was like, listen, he was one of them. Like, he's one of them. Like, if he speaks, you listen. And there was one day he came to me and was like, yeah, you're getting in the gym with me. After training, we went in and he done. Oh, I remember I went back to the hotel that day and I slept so good, bro. I was tired, but big up Akinfenwa, man. Proper like good people. But that season, so I went to Northampton because they had him up front and another guy called Clive Platt was at my height, old school pro. Like, he was in his 30s. He was cool as well. So them two were the strikers. So I played left wing, and he gone. So I done really well. Had a couple of minor matches here and there. Scored. I think it was like the Carling Cup, it was called at the time, so like the League Cup, scored in that as a left winger. So I've done quite well, but towards the end, because I was only really needed for 3 months to cover the injuries that they had. But I was always in the squad, you know. So I played 15 games, 14 or 15 games, but I was always in the squad. Like if I'm not starting, I'm on the bench and I'm coming on. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I was always involved, and this was in League 2. And that year, them lot went to Wembley in the playoffs. So I wish I signed for the season because I'd have gone to Wembley, you know what I mean? And I'd have probably played or came on or whatever, you know what I mean? Because he used me a lot, I was involved. But when my loan ended, so I was going back to Liverpool, and the feedback I was getting from them was like, look, your old reserve manager Rodolfo, he's been sacked or he's moved on. You've got a new youth team manager now, but he's looking forward to seeing you. He's been watching a couple of your games, or he's been getting scouts to watch your games. Like, they're looking forward to, you know what I mean, you're going to come back, you're going to kick on, you get me? So I'm thinking, like, this is cool. Originally, it was meant to be the season after, like my second year where I'd be playing reserves. I thought, it's being pushed forward, basically. Yeah, being pushed forward. I'm like, that's the kind of things I like, you know what I mean? If I'm doing well, then I deserve the merit. So I'm thinking, it's now my time to kick on. I've gone back to Liverpool with a fresh mind, positive, you know what I mean? And then met the guy, Alex, the first day. He seemed a nice guy, you know what I mean? Seemed cool. Shook my hand, said hi, or whatever not. Second day, same thing, didn't really say much. Third day, like, oh yeah, come into my office, let's have a catch up. So I'm like, cool. After training, gone into his office, and he's just asking me, like, how do you think your loan went? I said, I think it was decent, but I think like I was only really needed for 3 months instead of the 6, because I played the first 3 months I was there. And then he was like, yeah, do you know what? I kind of agree, you had a decent loan, but obviously, as you can see, since you've been away, things have changed. And you can see, like, after the new players that have been brought in, new managers, new coaching staff, and basically things have changed in the club, and just look to let you know that I know you've got 18 months in your deal, but when your 18 months is up, you're going to get released. That's what he's turned around to me and said.
What? This is So
After
you've still got 12 months, 18 left,
Yeah, 18.
and they've projected that you aren't going to have a place in that team.
Yeah.
So obviously at this point now you're thinking, yo, I'm trying to get out now. Or are you thinking
that same minute?
Contract.
First of all, I was thinking like, first I was just thinking, who's this guy? Like, you know what I mean? Like, but straight away I just said to myself, if that's the case, then you may as well release me now. Because at that point I thought I've come off. I'm 18, just about to be 19.
high market value?
My market value shot up. It was like 700k or something like that. Fluctuates all the time. I remember the agent I had at the time. It was like your market value was like 700,000-800,000 at the time. So if a club wants to buy you, they pay good money for you.
Yeah.
6 months ago, you had all these clubs, Leeds, Sheffield,
Leicester, everyone.
You can go there like with a click of the finger. You know what I mean? So that's all that was playing in my head. So I've turned to the manager. I'm like, look, if that's the case, you may as well pay me off now. I don't have a problem with leaving Liverpool. I've done it already when I went to Barnsley on loan for a month. I don't mind leaving and going to pursue my career somewhere else. I know I'm only 19, 18. Like, I've not got time, you know what I mean? So as soon as I said that, the look on his face, it's like he couldn't believe I said that to him. And then he turned around to the whole mood just changed, and he was like, he said, first he was just like, basically said like, oh, Liverpool aren't in the position to basically pay you off right now. In my head, I'm thinking, I'm nowhere
Liverpool
near.
Football Club.
One, it's Liverpool Football Club, and two, I'm nowhere near the highest paid in that team alone, because I got treated as a local. Even though I've lived in Manchester. Looking back on it now, when I negotiated my pro contract, I should have took a signing on fee, but I didn't. That's one thing. Like, when I speak to a lot of my young players, I
make sure you get a signing on fee.
Because even if it was like 10 grand signing on fee, that would really help. You get me? But obviously hindsight. So I turned to my man. I was like, look, I'm not even the highest paid in the team, so it's not going to cost you like anything to release me. If it released me, then that would have been a nice piece of change. I'd have left mutually and I've gone somewhere else for free, calm. You know what I mean? I'd have had no bad feelings towards him, no bad feelings towards Liverpool. I'd have just said, that's business, that's how things work, you know what I mean? And he's turned around to me, he's like, nah, we're not going to pay you off. And then he turned around and said, but your attitude is not what I expected. If you carry on this way, I could make a few phone calls and you'll never play another game of professional football in your life. That's what he said to me. And he said that to me a good few times as well, which is kind of mad. And then he also said to me, your playing time in the reserves will be limited. Your opportunities to train with the first team will be limited. So I said to myself, so what am I doing here then? Like,
you just halting me now then.
You're halting you basically my progression. I'm not going to get better. You know what I mean? And the weirdest thing about this guy is he's a good coach as well. Yeah. So his sessions, I enjoyed his training sessions. You know what I mean?
It's just the business element of the game.
Just the way he was with me was just weird. You know what I mean? So the rest of that season, I just trained with his reserves. Sometimes with the youth team.
Games.
Sometimes with no games. Sometimes with the first team.
From March.
From December.
The December. So yeah, you went.
Didn't play one game.
So I've got a mate who I work with, Lee and Jordan, Anthony and Jordan. They are Liverpool fans as well. Jordan is. And he asked a question. He said, like, how did that affect, because obviously you read your article. It's called The Dark Side of Football. You had written and published that yourself. It's first person. It's a really good read. And he read that and he said, how did this all affect you on a psychological level, being so young, having these dreams, being built up to do X, Y, and Z? So there's other players getting pros, X, Y, and
at this point,
I can't even leave the club.
At this point, there was players that started to make the first team debuts, train with the first team regularly, and a squad number. So I was told if I made my debut, my squad number was going to be number 60.
Sick.
You know what I mean? So I'd already been told that, but that was my training number as well and all that kind of stuff. But I'm going nowhere. I'm just training. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like I can't be seen. You get me? Like,
it almost seems like, I'm sorry to cut. It almost seems like he knew that if you was out in the picture, as you always have since being 11, 12, 13, 14, you've always been advanced. You've always been fast tracked because of your ability, and you would have 100% been spotted by a club, picked up and gone.
If I left Liverpool at that point, just after Northampton, I would have had a club like the same day. Literally the same day. We had clubs that we was chatting to me, my agent at the time, that were like, look, if Liverpool paid Muffin as a free agent, I will sign him like this on a 5-year deal, because I was 18 at the time. You know what I mean? 18, 19. I'd have been 22, 23. That would have been no cost to them. 5-year deal, there would be nothing, you know what I mean? So clubs. So that's what I was saying to him, like, I don't have no problem leaving Liverpool because then I'll prove you wrong. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I was talking confident like that, he didn't like it. You know what I mean? So then after that, mentally, like, bro, like there was some days I would go train and I'm thinking I've just trained well. And then at the end of the session, they'd be like, okay, you'd read out like 15, 20 names. You'd be like, okay, because we've got a game tomorrow or whatever. You lot, come here with me, we're going to do shape. Or Henoc, you go over there with the youth team.
Surely that is unethical. Surely.
Like, that would happen all the time. Like every week, every like weekday.
I remember talking to you around these times as well, man. And
I used to go home.
I used to think like,
and I'd just be crying, bro.
What these men are doing to him?
Bro, it's crazy.
Disrespectful.
Yeah. And in my head, and then I was having weekly meetings with him, and he's saying to me, "Why are you still at the club?" I'm like, "Because you told me I can't be released." You know what I mean? He's like, "Oh, well, why don't you agent?" Because he basically wanted me to get my agent to get a team to come in and buy me. You get me?
But they can't. If I'm not playing, I'm training. I'm with the youth team. I'm being like
held back.
Exactly.
Bro, this is crazy. This is crazy.
So this is happening. Whilst a few months before that, I was playing in League 2. I was happy. You know what I mean? I'm progressing. I'm thinking people are starting to see me. You know what I mean? I'm getting featured here and there. You know what I mean? And then now I'm just rotting away in the reserves. Sometimes training with the youth team. But then other days I'll go and train with the first team and I'll do really well. And then Brendan is telling me I'm doing really well. So I remember there was a time where I trained with the first team. I turned to Brendan and I said, "Look, you keep asking me to come and train with the first team, but yet I'm not playing in the reserves. But yet you keep asking." At that point, if you train with the first team, it's Brendan that was asking for you. The reserve manager couldn't just send you. Like Brendan was asking.
It was him who asked that.
So I'm thinking, obviously you like me as a player. You get me? Because when I was going with him, sometimes I played as number 9, but then he's seen that I was different to what he thought. He's clocked that I was quick. I could hold up the ball, but then I like running with the ball, you know what I mean? Like,
so you can play out wide.
I could play out wide, you know what I mean? So then he's like, "Oh, yeah, you know, like, I've heard a lot of good things about you, but, you know, at the moment, I'm not one who's in charge. If it's Alex Singleton, man, I'm thinking,
you're the first team
you're
manager.
the first team manager. Like, even if I was under 11s, you get me?
If he said it's
if
this,
he said it's
that.
this, I said, "Can't you tell him to just give me a run of games to see how I do?" And he goes, "Yeah, I'll speak to him." But then obviously,
didn't happen, didn't materialise.
Nothing came from it.
So really very quickly, obviously your mental health is in a dire state.
Yeah.
You obviously don't really have anybody to talk to about this, like advisory or.
I didn't even know about. All I knew at that time is I'm just feeling down. I didn't know about mental health. I didn't know about depression or this. Looking back at it, I was 100% depressed back then. You know what I mean? Like 100%. And then the worst thing now, because obviously I still speak to like certain people now that they've left the club and they were like involved in like maybe
like schemes or like
so they were like other coaches and things like that, and they look at it and they're like, yeah, we look back on it with shame because we should have said something to him, because looking back on it, you're a nice kid, you work hard and you're a decent player. Like, I've never came out here and been like, "Yo, I was the best player in Liverpool's team," or da-da-da-da-da, you know what I mean? I was just like, "Yo, I was decent." Obviously Liverpool one of the best players, one of the best clubs in the country. So I was amongst the best players in the country, you know what I mean? Like, I just wanted the opportunity to prove on my day, like when I play well, I play really, really well, you know what I mean? That's all I wanted to prove, but then this guy's come in and it's just like, just it's almost like I didn't exist, you know what I mean? Like, that's literally how like I felt during my pro years at Liverpool. No matter how well I trained, no matter what I did, I'd never got the chance to play.
That's sad, man.
And then so the rest of that season, I just trained, and then towards the end of the season, I went on to train with Rochdale at the time because I was trying to go on loan to them the next. And also it was pre-season. So I've come back pre-season. I've come back. At that point, I'm thinking I'm gonna prove this guy wrong because this can't run. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was meant to go IB for that year. So I said, "Fuck it," stayed home. Gone to France, see my dad for a week. Came back and I was just running. I was working hard. I was doing this and the other. Come back pre-season, I'm flying. Played a few pre-season games, but then he's played me centre back.
I'm not a centre back though.
So when I was training,
I was 14.
Yeah, since I was 12, 11, 13, you know what I mean? So when this was happening, so
These people vibe.
when I was training, the season before I was training, he started training me as a centre back as well. Sometimes just to cover for like, a couple of centre backs injured, or if there's an 11-side game and they needed numbers, it would just chuck me at the back. You know what I mean? Just to like be like, "Oh yeah, look, we're involving you." But not knowing that I've played in multiple positions in my career.
So I'm smashing it centre back now.
The fact that you've given that opportunity, you don't know the type of like mentality that I've got. I'm now going to show you what I can do. So he was thinking that the players that he was favouring, they're going to rip me up when they're playing as strikers. Well, it was the opposite way. So whenever the ball's coming, I'm heading the ball, I'm smashing this guy, I'm smashing that guy. I'm getting the ball, I'm running forward, I'm playing at the back, and I'm just looking good, you know what I mean? And then it got to a point where they sat me down. This would have been the season after, but basically they sat me down at one point, and actually I'll touch on that in a minute, actually, because this is after Partick. Basically, that season I've come back, he's playing me centre back, whatever not, but then he's turned around to me and said, yeah, you're not part of the plans for the season again. You're going to have to go out on loan. Or, well, if your agent can sort that out. So we've sorted out. Rochdale, gone there, trained for a week. The manager really likes me. I'm thinking, sign me for the season. He's like, yeah, we're going to take you for the year last year, your contract. Come there, you're going to play number 9, this, that, the other. You're going to be back in Manchester. So I'm like, yeah, cool, let's do it. Next minute, when that's happened, I've packed my bags thinking, I'm
ready to go.
I'm going to stay at my mum's, forget about Liverpool, and I'm just going to do my thing at Rochdale, hopefully sign with them or someone else. The day before I was meant to go to Rochdale, so I'm sat at home on the Sunday, I get a phone call, I get told, listen, your loan with Rochdale is not happening. You're going up to Scotland to Partick Thistle instead. So these times I'm like...
I'm packed.
I've packed everything. The team was called Partick Thistle.
Yeah, up in Scotland.
Yeah, so I'm thinking...
Who sanctioned that? Who sanctioned that? My man.
Alex
Inglethorpe.
Yeah, so I'm thinking, wait, one, who's Partick Thistle? No disrespect to them, good club, but I didn't know who they were. And then someone like, they've just been promoted up to the Scottish Prem, this, that, the other. So I'm thinking, cool. So I've called up my boy Michael Ingram, like, what's the Scottish Prem like? Because he was on loan to Hearts. He was like, bro, just be positive, go there, do your thing.
It's easy anyway. It's like a league.
It's like a league.
Their standards like League 2.
I'd say so, yeah. So he's like, just if you did what you did at Northampton, you'll absolutely kill it. You know what I mean? Go there, be positive, whatever not. So I'm like, you know what? I'm not even going to put it down on it. I'm just going to go there and I'm going to do my thing. You know what I mean? I've gone there. First day I get there, and there's bare paparazzi. There's pictures there. Like I was in the back of the Glaswegian newspaper. Like
you felt the love again.
Well, I felt the love. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I got there. I'll show you. There's a big article with me, like on the. You know what I mean? I'll send it. You can put it up. But it was mad. So I'm feeling the love. You know what I mean? And I get there. The manager showing me around. The manager's like, "Yeah, I watched you play Northampton. You was there. You could play on the left. You could play down the middle. Like proper like selling the dream to me. Like, yeah, you're gonna play. Like I want you to be our main man this season. I want this and that to happen. You know what I mean? Like proper like selling me
the dream, encouraging.
So yeah. So that's happened. So I'm thinking I'm gonna kill it. And then pre-season come. I played a few pre-season games, and then the season starts. And then because when I went there, it was halfway through pre-season. Played a few pre-season games. Season starts, and then next minute, it was when BT Sport first started. So 2013.
And at that time as well, I think Jordan was saying that you also had like a FIFA card.
Yeah.
FIFA 14
See, I never used to play FIFA back then, I wish I did. But I swear to God, I wasn't playing FIFA, bro. Only until recently someone on TikTok asked me about it. I found it, you know what I mean? So,
FIFA card.
Yeah, I had my FIFA card. So this day, we was playing Dundee United, and it was on BT Sport. And I remember that day, I paid for like all my family, like 5 of my friends to come up, put everyone up in the hotels. I'm thinking, I'm feeling good. I'm thinking, this is like my time, you know what I mean? We were playing on a Friday night, BT Sport, there were bare people watching. Like, I'm good to go. And they was talking about me, like, in the pre-game build-up. You know what I mean? I remember my friend, like, recording, like, they was talking about, game starts, I'm on the bench. I'm thinking, like, cool, do you know what? Stay humble. You've had a good pre-season, whatever not. You probably come on and affect the game.
60th minute, whatever,
Game ends 0-0. I didn't come on, so I'm thinking,
0-0 as well.
0-0.
Maybe made a striker change.
No, nothing, bro. So I was disheartened, but I'm like, you know what? Midweek, we've got a game against a team that we've already beaten pre-season. I scored against. Calm. We've played them 0-0 at full time. Same thing, stiff, like no changes. And in extra time, he makes a change. He brings me on, and we end up scoring because I started the move. Brought me on the right wing. You get me, got the ball, cut inside, popped to 1-2, switched the ball. The guy on the opposite side is crossed it. I was gonna go and shoot, and the striker slid in and scored. There's a picture of it where like I'm right behind the guy because I was gonna like tap it in, but I slid in and scored. So we've won that game. After the match, all the paparazzi are on me again. Henoc, well done. Like, you know, you affected the change. I'm spoke my piece. I'm thinking like sick, like.
Saturday.
I'm here now, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Saturday.
So then on the Saturday now, we've travelled up to Ross County from Glasgow. It takes you like 4 hours, 3-4 hours. So we've gone there on the Friday. Sorry. And then on the Saturday, the day of the game, he's done the team talk, everything. And he's like, I'll tell the team when we get to the stadium. So I'm thinking, okay, like I'm expecting to start. Honestly, I'm expecting to start. And we were out on the pitch beforehand, and when everyone's going back in, he goes, "Oh, Henoc, come here a sec." So when he said that, I'm thinking, I'm going to start. Yeah. He pulled me and was like, "Oh, you played really well the other day, like whatnot. But today I'm going to try something different." And I'm thinking, tell me that I'm starting.
Yeah, I'm going left back or somewhere left mid. Like I'm there. I'm there.
Put me in goal, bro. I'll play. I don't mind.